Hey, Joel. So I want to tell you something that nobody has given you permission to do, and that is you can lay it down, not quit, not check out, not give up on anything and everything that you've been building and everybody that you've been holding, but just lay it down. And so today I want to talk to you about why that is not a weakness, why that is not laziness, and why that is not you giving up on yourself, on your people, your purpose, or your God. This is rest. And you are long overdue, sis. So let's get into it. I want to talk about my framework of laying it down. Welcome back to Still Waters. This is the podcast for the woman who is tired of being a strong one and you're just ready. You're ready to remember that rest is sacred. I am Dr. MaKesha Harris-Lee, your sacred rest coach at Your Rest Coach. Today, we're going to get into something that I have been sitting with for a while. It's something that came to me out of my own work. It's come to me out of my own research and honestly out of my own body and experience as a Black woman. And so we're talking about a type of rest that Dr. Saundra Dalton-Smith, she didn't quite name it. And it's something that most wellness spaces just don't even know that it exists. It's a type of rest that is specific. It's specifically for women who look like me. And so I call it the lay down. And so we're going to get into a little bit of the foundation of Dr. Saundra's work. So if you haven't heard of Dr. Saundra Dalton-Smith, she is a Black woman physician. She's a researcher. And she has identified 7 types of rest. And that work, it really changed everything for me and everything I thought I knew about rest. And so she named physical rest, mental rest, emotional rest, sensory rest, social rest, spiritual rest, and creative rest. And those 7 types, they are so real and they are researched and they matter. But here's what I kept noticing as I sat with her work and sat with women in sessions and just sat with my own body. And that was that there are things that we carry that just didn't fit into any of those 7 categories she provided, things that were specific to us. And so to me, I feel like, the way that Black women move in this world is so important. And I couldn't find like a name for it in any of the research I was doing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna name it myself, right? So I've identified 4 additional types of rest specifically for Black women. And so today we're going to sit with the first one, and I'm calling it the lay down. And so what exactly is the lay down, Keisha? So glad you asked. The lay down, what it is it is the act of setting down the weight of having to represent, to educate, to defend, to perform, and to survive in these systems that were never designed for you. So I'm going to say it one more time because I want to make sure it lands. Setting down the weight of having to represent, educate, defend, perform, and survive these systems that were never designed for you. Now, again, it's not giving up. It's not checking out. It's laying it down deliberately, temporarily, and without guilt. And you're doing this so that your body can remember what it feels like to not be on duty. Because, Jewel, think about it. Most of us, we have been on duty ever since we were little girls. Like, you were the one who had to speak well so people wouldn't make assumptions about your family. Or you were the one who also had to work twice as hard so that nobody could say you didn't earn it or you didn't deserve it. You were the one in every room explaining, translating, educating, while also trying to do the actual job you were hired for. Ask me how I know. And then you come home, right? And you're still on duty. You're on duty for the family. You're on duty for your community, for everybody who needs something from you. So I got to ask, when was the last time you were in a room where you didn't have to perform your competence, where you didn't have to prove you belonged, where you could just be without it meaning something about who you are or your people? That exhaustion it's got a name. And it's not laziness. That ain't the name. And it's not a weakness. And it's definitely not a character flaw. It is the accumulated weight of surviving in systems that were never designed with your rest in mind. And so the lay down, what it says is that you get to put it down. Again, not forever, not permanently, but long enough for your nervous system to remember what safety actually feels like in your own body. And so I just really feel like that matters. And also the science and the soul of this thing, it matters. So let's talk about the science a little bit. What does science tell us? When the body is in a constant state of threat, whether that's real or perceived, your nervous system stays in fight or flight. Your cortisol levels, they stay elevated. Inflammation starts to increase. Your sleep doesn't restore you the way that it's supposed to, because even when you're unconscious, your body is still guarding. A vacation doesn't fix this. A spa day, it doesn't even touch it. And it's because the threat is still going to be there when you get back. The system is still there. The weight is still there. What your body needs is not just a break from work. It needs a break from having to watch and from the managing and from the constant low-grade labor of existing in spaces that were not built for you. And then we look at scripture. So scripture confirms what science has said. Jesus said in Matthew 11:28, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Heavy laden. Not just physically tired, but heavy laden. This is the weight of that representation. This is the weight of being twice as good to get half the credit. This is the weight of the lay down that God himself is saying, give it to me. He's not asking you to carry it forever. He's inviting you to put it down. And so we think about, okay, Keisha, so the lay down. What is the lay down? What does that actually look like? Once again, I'm glad you asked. So practicing the lay down actually looks like making a choice, an intentional choice on your environments. Your environments as far as where you don't have to explain yourself. Choosing environments where you do not need to code switch, where you do not have to manage how you're being perceived. It looks like getting into a room with women who already know, who do not need you to educate them, who also hold the same weight and understand what it costs. It looks like lying down, like literally lying down, physically lying down and telling your nervous system, hey, you are not on duty right now. You do not have to be on guard about anything because you're safe. And so this is what happened this past Sunday in a room full of women who came in as strangers, and they left as girlfriends, okay? They were in there exchanging numbers, building connections, holding each other. Because why? Because they didn't have to perform. They are around other women who they didn't have to explain anything to. The space provided what most spaces never do, and that's permission to just be, without it costing them anything. This is the lay down. This is the lay down in action. This is collective rest. And this is what I'm building more of this summer. So I want to invite you in to what I am calling a Jules Rest Circle. You are invited to share this with me this summer. It's going to open up in June. So right around the corner, it's going to be 4 months of a Women's Circle series. And we meet one Friday each month for 2 hours every session. It's limited to 12 women. Each session is going to cover a different type of rest that's rooted within this framework. It's rooted in what we need, not what a wellness space may think we need, right? So we start June 26th with the first session, and it is called What Survival Cost You. And then we end in September with women who have not just learned about rest, but they have practiced it together. And they have the data from their own bodies to prove what's changed. And yes, I mean real data. I told you my 3 pillars, spirit is scripture, science, and soul. And so they're going to get a personal energy scan at that first session. And then they'll get a last energy scan at the last session, so they can see what 4 months of intentional rest has done for their body, their spirit, and their energy. This is not a workshop. It's not a one-time event. It is a rhythm. There are 12 spots, intentionally small, and the women who make the move first will get the seats. So DM me the word circle, CIRCLE. You can do that on Instagram at Your Rest Coach. And that will help for me to be able to send you the link directly, or you can look in the show notes. The show notes will have the link for you to go ahead and reserve your spot directly. And if you're not ready for a circle, but you know you need something right now, one-on-one, just you and me, you can send me a DM. DM me the word still, STILL, and let's get you on the books for a Still Waters one-on-one. Because the lay down is not you giving up. It's actually the bravest thing you can do. I'm Dr. MaKesha, Sacred Rest Practice Out Loud. This has been another great Still Waters. And until next time, be still and know that God's got the rest.